Hey everyone, I was really surprised that over 80% of you voted to see this video. I kind of thought everyone was burnt out on the Sephora sale. I heard a lot of people saying they weren't going to participate in it because we all know the Sephora sale really isn't that great unless you're a VIB Rouge and you can get 20% off. A lot of times you can get a better deal from the brands directly. Recently I saw Youth to the People had a 30% off sale, but you know what? Even if we don't participate in the sale, it's still just really fun to see what people's favorites are. It's always a relaxing, fun, informative kind of video. At first, I was gonna make this a short curated video of a few favorite items, and then I started pulling things and it just got out of hand. Check the description box below for a list of content where I go into much more thorough detail about all these products, but for today, I'm gonna try to keep it brief. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm gonna talk about all of the runner-ups that didn't make this list and why I didn't give them my #1 spot. So the first item I thought of for this video is also one of my most repurchased items and is something that I will always pick up during the sale. It's the Tatcha Overnight Serum and Cream Treatment, and it is my holy grail moisturizer. If I could only pick one moisturizer for the rest of my life, it would be this. Again, check the description box for the videos where I go into more detail about this and the ingredients, but essentially this is a multifunctional product. It is a calming serum, it's a hydrating serum, and it's a deeply occlusive moisturizer in one. If you have sensitive skin like I have, and you've ever had one of those days or nights where every product you put on is just stinging your face, that's because your barrier is compromised. And in those cases, what I do, I cut all products. All I do is I wash my face, I'll apply my Fit Glow Ceramide Mist that you can't get on Sephora, and then I will apply this. This is an absolute miracle worker. If I could only pick up one product during the Sephora sale, it would be this, and I'm definitely gonna buy a backup. Okay, well, one thing though, it smells like an ashtray. Straight up, smells like a bunch of cigarette butts. I don't know why. I don't think they have fragrance or essential oils in here, but it must be some kind of natural fragrance from one of the ingredients. It doesn't bother me. In fact, I've come to love it because I just love this product so much. But I just wanted to mention that because it can be a little bit surprising when you first apply it. I'm going in a totally random order today, so now I'm gonna talk about the Gxve Bubble Pop Electric Gloss in all my love. I've talked about this in so many videos recently. This is my ultimate gloss formula. If I could launch my own brand, this is what my lip gloss formula would be. It's thick, it's a little bit sticky, so it lasts a really long time. It's so comfortable, doesn't slide around my lip lines. It adds a glass-like shine and smooths over your lip lines, but it's also very balmy, so it doesn't just feel like a lip gloss, it feels like a sort of liquid lip balm lip gloss hybrid. But if you like a really thin, lightweight product, don't go anywhere near this. It also has a very vanilla frosting kind of scent that I personally really like, although it's strong. So if you want a really subtle fragrance, you may also not like this, but I think it's fantastic. This particular shade is beautiful. It's just this warm, pinky berry that I think would look incredible on everyone. It has medium pigment. You can sheer it out a little bit if you want. You can build it up. It's just my favorite lip gloss formula that I've ever tried. I cannot wait for Gxve to launch more shades. I love this so much. I want it in every color. It's just fantastic. I have been loving the Ordinary Buffet plus Copper Peptide Serum ever since I saw Abby Young's video about how fantastic it is. I purchased this when I ran out of my Skin Better Alto Defense Serum. That is my holy grail antioxidant serum. It's like a one and done, has everything you need for the daytime kind of serum. But the Skin Better Alto Defense is like $160 or something crazy, and I just can't repurchase that every time I run out. And so instead I wanted to try this, and it has really exceeded my expectations. It never irritates my skin, which is very rare for an antioxidant rich product. It does leave your skin with that kind of like tacky, sticky feeling, but then I apply a moisturizer and it's totally fine. Don't be scared. It has this blue color, but you don't see that on the skin once you apply it. I just feel like my skin has looked a little bit more even, a little bit more hydrated, a little bit more glowy since I've started using this. I think it's only $30, so it's pretty affordable for such a robust, effective product. I vaguely remember possibly the Ordinary and the Inky List products not being included in the sale because they're generally so affordable, like some of them are $7, but this one was $30, so I think that maybe this is part of the sale, but you know, definitely check it out. A product I discovered this year that I'm kicking myself for not trying earlier is the Nars Soft Matte Lip Balm. Today I'm wearing the shade Brief Encounter over a little bit of the Makeup Forever liner in Wherever Walnut. For years, everybody said this was the most comfortable matte lip formula, and I kind of ignored them. I was like, You guys don't know how dry my lips are. Like, I could never do a matte lip formula. And then I tried it at Sephora and my mind was blown. It just feels like Vaseline. Like, it's not like Glossier Generation G kind of matte lip. It's slippy and balmy, and it feels like you're just wearing Vaseline when you're actually wearing a matte lip balm. The shade Brief Encounter is my favorite, and it's a tan shade with warm undertones. It's like the perfect nude lip for me when I don't want my lips to be totally washed out. The shade Unrestricted is a beautiful pinky mauve. I love wearing it when I'm wearing a bright pink cheek or cool toned makeup. And the formula is really flattering on the lips. I feel like it smooths over the lip lines and adds a little bit of a blurring effect. Pretty rare for a matte lip to be this comfortable and this flattering. A tried and true staple I've been using for years is the Shiseido eyelash curler. I think it's around $23, so I've only purchased it during the Sephora sale. It also comes with little backup pads and you can purchase them for $6. I used to be a drugstore eyelash curler girl. Like, I would only get Revlon and it would pull out my eyelashes and it wouldn't really get the corners. And I just thought it was stupid to pay $23 for an eyelash curler when you could get something from the drugstore. And now I understand that that's not exactly the best perspective. First of all, because it's not good to pull your lashes out, but also this is just designed better to fit my personal eye shape. It's a lot flatter. So you can see here, it's not quite as curved as others. So I can really get super close to my eye and get all of the lashes. It's nice and wide so I can get everything. It just fits the eye shape a lot better than other brands. And so for me, this is a no-brainer. You buy it once and you probably don't have to buy it again. When it comes to face cleansers, I'm pretty flexible. I really like my cleansers from CeraVe. They do a great job. You know, most of the cleansers I've tried that are available on Sephora have frankly not really impressed me. Like the Youth to the People one everybody loves, I found that to be quite stripping on my face. But when iNNbeauty launched this Keep It Clean Hydrating Gel Cleanser, that really changed my perspective on what a cleanser can be. First of all, this is multifunctional. It serves as a first cleanse and a second cleanse. So you can cut down on the amount of products that you need to buy. So you don't need to have a separate cleansing balm or cleansing oil with your second cleanse product. This does it all. This has converted John from the Paula's Choice Omega Cleansing Balm. Because we're both using this now, I'm on to my third bottle, which hopefully is a testament to how good it is because it's only been out for a few months and it really does what it says it does. So I'll leave a link on the screen here and I'll put it in the description box where I show a demo of me using this cleanser on a full face of makeup, and then I remove it, you know, rinse everything off, and then I go back in with a second cleanse to just get anything I may have missed. It's never stripping or drying. It's never irritating. It feels really hydrating and comfortable. It has a nice kind of gel foaming quality. And one of my favorite parts about it is that it smells like cucumbers. Also, if you don't want to buy a full bottle, you can check the iNNbeauty website. They have a tiny little travel size for, I believe, $7. Sticking with iNNbeauty, I'm wearing their Face Glaze today. I just love it so much. The best way I can describe this to you is if you took the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter and you mixed it with a kind of medium weight cream. So it's not like the Glossier Future Dew. That one was like really shiny, really oily on my skin. It's not like the Charlotte Tilbury alone because that's much more highlightery. That really sets down to a natural finish. This really feels like a cream. And so for me, it's a multifunctional product. On days where I'm wearing cream on my face and no like powders, I can use it as a highlighter. I love applying this on my collarbones, my shoulders, and my legs in the summertime to give me a little bit of a glow, and I like that it also moisturizes my skin at the same time. And today I'm wearing it all over my face like a primer. I used a matte sunscreen today, the Paula's Choice Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense, and I just added a little bit over areas where I wanted to give my face a little bit more life, and it's just perfect. It's my favorite kind of moisturizing, glowy primer. You can mix it in with moisturizer. You can just do so much with it. I think it's a fantastic product. I have been sleeping under a rock on this one. God, the Laura Mercier blush in Fresco is just like blowing my mind. I have not worn any other blush since I got it about a month ago. Literally have not worn any other blush. I'm wearing it today all over my cheeks. It looks like skin that's a little bit sun-kissed, a little bit flushed. Don't let the pictures online fool you. This is not glittery on the skin, even though it looks super glittery and chunky in the pan. I don't know what's up with that. When it's actually on the face, it just looks like you have a really nice sheen to your skin. You can't see the glitter particles. And I would describe this color as a slightly warm tan. You know, it's just a real skin-like kind of shade. It's never patchy, it's not dry and chalky. It's just a perfect formula and a perfect color. The cool Kulfi underlined Kajal eyeliners blew my mind this year. They don't have great reviews on Sephora, and I just don't understand it because these glide on like a dream, they set down and they don't budge, and they come in beautiful, beautiful, richly pigmented shades. My favorite shade is Tiger Queen, which is a rich terracotta. It just pops my eye color like no liner does. The shade Purply Pataka is this rich berry shade that I also find really flattering. It's not like too bright and purple, it's not too warm. It's just this perfect shade. I feel like it would emphasize everybody's eye colors. It's just unique and gorgeous, I love it. And then the shade Cheeky Chiku is their brown shade, and what I like about it is that it's actually brown. I feel like a lot of eyeliners that are described as brown are actually just like a light black, and that's not what I'm going for. I love that you can see the warmth and the actual brown quality of this. It works as a liner, it works in the waterline, doesn't smudge, doesn't transfer. I love it. The Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer is the only concealer I've used on my blemishes for at least 10 years. What I like about it is it's a full coverage concealer, so it really covers what you need it to, but it sets down to a skin-like finish, so it's not matte and drying, it's not dewy, it just looks like skin. Most importantly, it's waterproof. This bad boy does not come off until you ask it to come off. One tube of this lasts me for around 2 years, sometimes 3 years. It's that full coverage. You only need a tiniest little dot, so you get great value. A fragrance that has become my daily signature scent is Commodity's Gold Perfume, but in the personal level. So if you don't know Commodity, they have 3 levels to each perfume: personal, expressive, and bold. Personal starts with just a couple really core notes, then the expressive one adds a couple other layers of notes, and then the bold is a more rich, more intense fragrance with a lot of extra notes. You will absolutely be seeing Commodity's Gold Personal in my upcoming vanilla perfume video. I'm gonna review like 30 or 40 vanilla fragrances, and this one just really took my breath away. All this is musk and vanilla. It doesn't smell too sweet, it doesn't smell synthetic, it's not overly musky to the point where your nose is like, it smells sharp on your nose. It's just the lightest, creamiest, most authentic smelling vanilla that's not like a gourmand sweet scent. I've had at least 3 people compliment me on this in the past 2 months, so that's how you know it's a winner. Another perfume that totally took my breath away this year is Skylar's Coconut Cove. This is their mini size for $29, and it comes in a roller ball, which is my personal favorite way to apply perfume. I get headaches if I spray even a full spray of perfume, no matter what the perfume is. I can only do a really tiny dot of a roller ball and then apply that where I need to all over my body. Otherwise, it's way too overpowering for my nose. I'm very sensitive. So for me personally, a rollerball gives me so much more control, and I don't mind reapplying throughout the day. I would rather have something that doesn't totally overwhelm me. This is a really fresh coconut scent, and the description says, "This is a fragrance that transports your spirits to an exotic locale. The notes of creamy coconut mingles with blooms of jasmine and gardenia for an intoxicating yet tranquil blend. Coconut Cove is a calming yet sensual perfume to inspire you to chart your own path." Well, I don't know about that, but the key notes are bergamot, coconut, and ambrox. I can't say that I really smell the jasmine or the gardenia, which is good because I actually don't like jasmine or gardenia in perfume. I find that those notes always overpower everything else, but somehow Skylar managed to make them really subtle in this one. Oh God, just wow, smelling it right now really does transport me. I just had this like flashback to Miami, where the last time we were there, I was like on a beach and I was drinking a pina colada, and it really does transport you to somewhere really tropical and nice. It's musky without being astringent. It's coconutty without being too sweet or synthetic. It's freshly bergamot, and it's a teensy bit floral, so it's super balanced. It's one of the best perfumes I've ever smelled. I have 4 other perfumes, but I'm gonna break it up with something different. I'm extremely behind on this, I know, but the Stila Glitter and Glows became my absolute favorite glitter formula this year. I tried the Glisten and Glows that just launched, but they actually gave me a chemical burn on my eyelids. I have no idea why. It's interesting, some people said that this one burned them, some people said the Glisten and Glows burned them, but for me, I've had 0 issues with the Glitter and Glows. I will link on the screen above and or put in the description box a video where I applied the shade Bronzed Belle, and it was just one of the most beautiful shades I've ever seen. It's this kind of like peachy rose tan color with all of this silver glitter. It's kind of like if you took Hourglass's Scattered Lights in Ray and just amped it up, that's what you get. And that's why I like this so much. The contrast between the warm base and the cool toned glitter is what I think makes it so incredibly magical. This is like my absolute favorite product to use on a night out. I think it's amazing. And the shade Diamond Dust is a perfect silver. It's a silver base with silver glitter. That gives me that kind of understated but cool look when I'm going to a concert. And what I really like about these applicators is that, you know, it's a nice paddle applicator, so you can put it all over your lid if you want to, or you can turn it to the side and really do a liner shape. I find that it gives me a lot of control. I don't have any fallout with these, and I find that they last all day. A new launch in 2022 that I thought really deserved the hype is the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer. This is in the shade Light Medium, which was a little bit of a better match for me than Light. The shade Light was a little bit orange, and this is also such a sheer formula that you can totally go a shade deeper. This is the bronzer that I wear on days when I'm wearing cream blush and cream highlighter, and then I have a powder bronzer that I'll talk about afterwards. This does give you a dewy finish. It's something that I find actually really flattering, even though I don't like dewy products, I don't like wet looking skin, and I find that it just sets to like something that's in between a natural finish and a dewy finish. It just looks like really hydrated skin, but what's most magical about this is I find it has something in here that's blurring on the skin. I don't know what it is, but I'm so hooked on it. I wish they came out with a line of blushes in the same formula. I would freak out. The bronzer I use when I'm gonna be layering powder products is the Tom Ford bronzer in Terra. This is a mini size for $75. This for me is the perfect powder bronzer shade I've been looking for. You know, the formula is not dry and chalky, it's not patchy. It's the perfect color. It's not super orange like so many other bronzers are. It's not too light. It's almost like a little bit cool toned and a little bit of a warm bronzer all in one. It just works to slightly sculpt and slightly add some warmth to the face. This is one that you guys recommended to me, and I'm very grateful. Continuing with the theme of Tom Ford, I had been eyeing their lip color lipsticks for years because I thought the shades just looked so sophisticated, so nuanced, so beautiful. I purchased the shade Neutral Party after seeing Hung Van Gogh use it in a tutorial, and I'm looking at my hand right now and I can still barely describe this shade because it's so sophisticated. There's like red, but there's peach, but there's pink, maybe a little bit of brown too. It's like a muted shade. It doesn't overpowers anything, and yet I could also build it up and wear it as a bold lip if I needed to. It's just like a magical lipstick. The shade Casablanca I would describe as like a deep pinky berry almost. I love wearing this one in the fall and winter months, so I'm excited to break this one out again. And as for the formula of the Tom Ford lipsticks, they are just so good. They're so creamy, and so they feel really comfortable on the lips, but they're not so thin and oily like a lot of other lipsticks that they kind of slide around. They stay in your lip lines because there's like a little bit of stiffness to them so that they stay in place, but there's a little bit of creaminess to them so that they're super comfortable. They're a perfect satin formula. I love them. Let's talk youth to the people. My number one pick from the brand is their Super Clay Purify and Clear Power Mask. This is the mask I use when I want to see before and after results. It's a clay mask, but even when it dries down, it still has enough flexibility to it and softness that it's not tight or dry or cracking or itchy when you wear it. I could wear this for an hour, and sometimes I do. I also find that I notice a difference in redness when I wear this. It just seems really soothing for a clay mask. So no matter what, when I wear it, my skin is just left looking a little bit better. It looks a little clearer, a little calmer. It's a miracle worker. I can't live without it. This is my second bottle. It's kind of expensive for a clay mask, and that's why I recommend it during the sale, but it's the number one, the only clay mask that I need in my collection. My second pick from Youth to the People is their Polypeptide 121 Future Cream. I believe that this has a new or newish or maybe exclusive peptide to Youth to the People that is supposed to be clinically proven to actually help with firmness of the skin. I'm not super concerned about wrinkles because I'm not the most expressive person with my face, but I have noticed some volume loss, particularly my upper eyelids have been becoming a little bit more hooded, my under eyes have more volume loss, my nasal labial folds and my sort of jawline here have just started drooping a little bit in my 30s, and so now anytime I can bump up my use of peptides that focus on firming, that's what I do. I also just really love this cream. It's fragrance and essential oil free, and it has this really silky, velvety quality to it. It's rich enough that I can wear it at night, but it's also light enough that I can wear it during the daytime under makeup. And then at any point at night, if I feel like I need something a little bit more occlusive on top, I just put on my Glossier After Balm and I'm good to go. Another perfume favorite is Clean Reserve Skin. I heard of this through Lauren May Beauty and absolutely fell in love. This is my ultimate cuddling scent, and basically they just say, this is the signature scent you've been looking for. Creamy Madagascar vanilla offers a soft and subtle sweetness to the cozy, close to the skin musk, creating the perfect everyday perfume. And it says that the keynotes are fresh musk, copaiba oil, and salted praline. That's really it. It just smells like something a little sweet, something a little musky, but it's not like a synthetic sweetness. It's not overly sweet and like young and cheap smelling. It's not musky to the point where it's like sharp and astringent on the nose. It's one that John really loves. This, for some reason, smells completely different than anything I've smelled before. I don't know if it's copaiba oil, because I'm not familiar with what that is. I don't know if maybe it's the nuttiness from the praline. Something about it is just very, very special, and I like the mini size for $29 or $28. The highlighter I'm wearing on my cheeks today is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in 3. This is the mini size. I'm very grateful that my shade comes in a mini. I'm not a big highlighter person. I don't like a wet looking skin. I don't like a blinding kind of glam highlight. I like my skin to just look like skin, but amped up. And that's what the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter does. It just makes me look like I'm taking really good care of my skin. It's not glittery, it's not shimmery, it's not super metallic. I can put it on my shoulders and my collarbones. It's just such a perfect product, and I'm not gonna ramble on about it because you all already know what it's like. But another product from the brand that I really don't hear people talk about are the Charlotte Tilbury Happikiss balms. I think I've heard more negative feedback than positive. With the negative aspect, I think people don't like them because it's the kind of product that you can't click back down. So once you click it up, it's up, and then it melts around the edge so it can get a little bit messy. It feels like pretty cheap plastic, which, you know, is frustrating for a luxury Charlotte Tilbury product. You know me though, I'm really not a packaging kind of girl unless the packaging like makes the product hard to apply, so I don't care at all. This is my #2 lipstick formula of all time. It feels like a stiffer version of like a Laneige lip mask. They're also very richly pigmented, and what this does when it's on your lips is provides the most gorgeous, thick, occlusive layer. It feels so incredibly comfortable, doesn't slide around, and it smooths over lip lines and provides a really beautiful, soft, glass-like shine. It also has a subtle, sweet scent that I find totally addictive. I can't stop smelling these. And I have 3 shades that I really love. The first is the shade Pillow Talk, which personally I think is the best version of Pillow Talk that they offer in the range. As you can see in the footage, this Pillow Talk is kind of more pink. It's a little warmer than the others. The matte lip formula of Pillow Talk, the viral lipstick, is very, I wanna say gray and muted, but in this formula, it's like a beautiful My Lips But Better kind of shade. I have a massive lip collection and I am almost out of it. You can see that my lip product is all the way up to here, so that's really saying something. Then I have the shade Crystal Happikiss, which is just a sheer wash of pink, very, very sheer, so it would look good on everybody. And the shade Enchanting Kiss is a really beautiful peachy pink, beautiful for the spring and summer months, definitely one of my favorites. One of my favorite lip liners now is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil, or it's their multi-use matte pencil in Wherever Walnut. It's like the most perfect, warm, medium brown, and I'll just add a little more here so you can see. It's like that perfect liner for a slightly darker nude shade for my complexion. I also like that you can use these on the eyes, you could use them as freckles on the face. It's a pencil formula, but it's not super drying like I find the MAC pencil formula to be. There's definitely a little bit of creaminess to it so that it's blendable and it glides right on really easily. Totally get the hype on these, wish I'd tried them sooner. I'll be brief because you all know about it, but the Dior Rosy Glow Backstage Blush in pink is just one of my all-time favorite blushes now. It It adds that gorgeous flush of color. The formula is sheer but buildable. It looks natural. It's not chalky or cakey. It's just the perfect powder formula, and I wish it came in more shades. However, what I will say is this is always out of stock, and it is Dior, so it's expensive. If you want a perfect dupe, the Persona Blush and Bubble is more affordable, and it's the same shade and the same formula. Another fragrance I love is Ellis Brooklyn Salt. Interestingly, I did not like this when I first tried it. It was like super floral, ylang ylang, and I just did not think it was like the beachy fragrance that the name Salt implies. The description says, capturing the essence of salty skin, the creamy heat of the sun, and a whiff of tropical floral, Salt is sensual, complex, and soul healing. So the notes are ylang ylang, violet, Tahitian tiare, magnolia, musk, ambergris, and sandalwood. If you're not a floral lover, it may not be the best fit for you, but I'm not a floral girl, and I fell in love with this because it's tropical florals. You know, I don't like jasmine, I don't like gardenia, I don't like white florals, but tropical florals I can get down with. The inclusion of musk and the vegan ambergris just makes it really like skin-like, a little sweaty, like I don't know, it smells like what I envision if you went for a run on a really hot, humid day on the beach in Hawaii. Kind of vibe. And this is their travel size for $32. I also love Ellis Brooklyn Myth, and this is described as the airy beauty of jasmine petals and tiger orchid meets the sexy, undeniable warmth of liquid musks and white cedarwood. This has jasmine, so I have to be in the mood to wear this fragrance, otherwise I can find myself kind of getting a little bit annoyed by it, and I sprayed it to remind myself. There's a note in here that smells like my body odor. I don't know what it is. So basically for me, it's like a really good skin-like scent. And the full notes are bergamot, ombrette seeds, cassis, tiger orchid, pink lotus, jasmine petals, patchouli, liquid musks, and white cedarwood. I do find this to be quite an intense fragrance, so I can only spray a tiny bit. Everything about this I should hate. I don't like anything too musky. I find a lot of times white cedarwood makes things really astringent and sharp. Patchouli is not a note that I tend to reach for. It's very overwhelming. I don't like the smell of incense. And then it's a bunch of white florals and a couple notes I like bergamot and cassis. I should hate this, but I don't. While I do have to be in the mood for this one, when I am in the mood for it, I just find that it works really well with my body chemistry. All right, the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. You either love it or you hate it, and I love it. My favorite's the berry scent. John's favorite is the vanilla. It's thick, and I can just add a really rich, thick, occlusive layer. I spread it all on the outside of my lips and I sleep with it, and I wake up with really soft lips. I just love keeping one in my nightstand. I bring one of the mini ones with me when I travel. It's great. I've been loving the Kajal eyeshadow trios lately. This is the shade Chocolate Dahlia, and I'm wearing two of the shades today. I have the middle shade all over my lid and crease, and then I have the bottom darkest shade all on my lower lash line, which you can't really see now because I have eyeliner on. And then the top shade is just a beautiful glitter topper. It looks like it has a strong base pigment, but it doesn't. It's like a sheer base with just a bunch of scattered silver pigments. And Kajal was nice enough to send me a bunch of extra shades. Let me know if you want me to include these trios in my upcoming ColourPop Super Shock Shadow Swatch Collection video. I could totally add these to that video as well if anyone's interested, although I know none of these are new products, so maybe it's not something that anyone really cares about at this point. But I just find the mattes in these trios to be fantastic. The mattes are like pigmented but not too pigmented, and they're creamy. Like, they're creamy mattes. Just a beautiful formula. So really in these trios, I reach for the matte shadows, but I find that their glitters are really nice too. I prefer the glitter in the Chocolate Dahlia trio to the Orange Blossom trio. The Orange Blossom trio, I found that glitter to be pretty gritty on my eyes, but the Chocolate Dahlia glitter is really kind of soft. So just a little bit of variation there, but I'm really excited to dive into these a little bit more. I swear I'm not a super floral girl, but all of my favorite perfumes from Sephora happen to have a bunch of florals in them. So I also really recommend the Maison Margiela Replica Beach Walk fragrance. It's very light. I do find that it fades after like 4 hours and I have to reapply. Personally, I don't mind that. And the website says Beach Walk evokes the memories of endless summer days, the warm ocean breeze and the glow of sun-kissed skin. A fresh scent inspired by salty air and rays of sun, where bergamot and lemon fuse atop a floral perfume of ylang ylang, coconut milk, bergamot, and white musk. I find Replica Beach Walk to be the most beachy out of Ellis Brooklyn Salt, Myth, and then Beach Walk. The note of coconut milk just really makes everything so creamy, so summery. And the lemon also makes it really nice and bright and fresh alongside the bergamot. These three are so similar. They all have musk, they all have different florals. I would say go for Beach Walk if you want something a little bit coconutty that smells a little bit like sunscreen. Go for Myth if you like something equal parts floral, musky, and woody. And go for Salt if you want something that's like tropical florals but with more of a skin kind of vibe. And lastly, I've talked about it so many times, but the Tarte Baba Balm Moisturizer is a product that everybody is sleeping on. You gotta try it. I love that it comes with this hygienic pump. Perfect so you know exactly how much moisturizer you're supposed to use. This is a thick, rich, occlusive moisturizer for dry and dehydrated skin. I prefer using this at night because it does leave a little bit of a dewy finish, but it's like that post-facial kind of glow. This is normally $39, but I just saw on the Tarte website, it's on sale for $27 there, so maybe head over to Tarte instead. But Tarte and Sephora both sell a little travel size if you want to try before you buy. It has avocado oil, green tea, which is a powerful antioxidant, a vegan collagen complex, and babasu, so it's a really well-rounded, rich moisturizer with a lot of wonderful ingredients. John's also hooked on this one. He's gone through like God knows how many jars at this point. If it's boyfriend approved, you know it's good. That's it. I realized I had so many recommendations for this video. I'm gonna skip talking about my B-list runner-ups. Let me know if you wanna see that in a separate video. I would be talking about like the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize, the Kulfi Concealer, the Necessaire Deodorant, Pharmacy Honey Halo, Rare Beauty Eyeshadows, Living Proof Shampoo and Conditioner, all products I love, but there's a reason they didn't make my #1 list. So if you're interested in seeing that, let me know. In the meantime, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope you'll subscribe for more videos like this. And wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.